Hello, people. My name is Mitch, and this is my drawing commentary for a page of artwork for the new comic I'm trying to put together called Blood Force. And you get to listen to me awkwardly try and sound interesting for about 45, 50 minutes, something like that. So this is a comic that I've been working on for a little while. Came about because of conversations I was having with my brother where we were basically just ripping on Image. And this was not like two or three conversations. This was a couple of years worth. And eventually got to the point where, I said, like, yeah, I could do an Image comic, and started coming up with ridiculous Image comic ideas. And so this is kind of what ended up being the result. It's not exactly one of the old Image comics because I can't do those sincerely. This is a bit more of a parody, but I don't know, kind of a better parody than the few that exist, in my opinion. One of the things that always bugged me about those was that they do an Image Comics parody, but then they do it in a cartoony style. Or, I mean, like, I guess the closest we got was, like, Splitting Image, which, it's Don Simpson. It looks good, but it doesn't look like Image. So, Image Comics style it's, what I'm have the most fun drawing. So this is a kind of an Image parody, but with somewhat sincere artwork. I'm going to have some self-indulgent lapses every once in a while where I just draw something funny. But again, the whole thing is just designed so I can enjoy drawing the thing. So we're going to start right at the beginning, as it should be, with Blood Force, Issue 1, page 16. And if you're wondering if there's 15 other videos that I just haven't put up yet, or if I'm numbering the pages weirdly, no, I just didn't bother. I don't know. It didn't occur to me to video those ones. Video them, sure. And really, this one is, oh God, I kept that camera move in, eh? Okay. This one is more most of page 16 because there are going to be a couple moments where I thought I included the whole thing, or I thought I was recording, but it turned out I was just taking a photo. So there'll be a couple of quick jumps. That's all right. So here we get, this is a fun shot. This is a team shot, kind of small-ish, but they get to look all heroic and stuff. Nobody stands unheroically in Blood Force. And this is actually probably a good place to pick up because this is kind of where things start to get more interesting. There's some fun stuff before this, but this is where it goes into overdrive. The whole premise is it's all, well, I mean, it's a government-powered or government-backed superhero team, and they're facing off against alien guys, alien enemies. Those guys. You know those guys? They're facing off against them. And this is the bit where we're maybe 2 pages out from the actual confrontation. So we start getting our hero shots. Next page is going to be a bit of a lead up. I've started penciling that one. So that one should be up next week. And then after that is the crazy action starting. So we're starting to get a bit better of an idea of what our characters look like, kind of. So the guy I'm doing right now is the mall of the group, and that's his name is Hard, but with 2 D's because it's extreme. And directly to his right, no, directly to your right, to his left, is Lady Extremus. She's not just extreme, she's Maxtreme. And to the right of her is the team leader, Lieutenant Hawkstab, which is one of my favorite names on the team. I was pretty happy when I came up with. Once I came up with the name Hawkstab, it's like, okay, this has to be something real, right? I can't just, let that one die. You better do something with Hawkstab. And now I'm penciling in Shock Block. I didn't name Shock Block. My brother did. I stole it. I don't mind saying that. There's Popo there. I don't say that name out loud very often, so it still sounds silly to me. And there's Popo's giant gun I'm drawing. And I didn't bother penciling in Fireburn. Actually, I don't think it's that I didn't bother. It's that I think I forgot. If you look up in the top right there, you can see kind of a, it looks kind of like a scribble going off on a diagonal to the right. That's Fireburn. He's a fly-in fire guy because, you know, there's the Human Torch, and Human Torch rules apply. If a guy has fire powers, he must fly. And he's kind of half Human Torch, half Iron Man anyway. So, I had stuff I was gonna think about talking about, but I think I figured, there's another camera move. I think I figured something interesting would happen before I would get there. Um, I don't know, something. We got our close up on Hawkstab here. There we go. I could talk about Hawkstab's hair. Hawkstab's hair is important. It is kind of 90s ish. It's basically modeled. I mean, you can kind of tell he's modeled after Spartan a little bit. Um, Although we haven't seen his signature kind of piece here. Oh, I'm indicating it there. He has the three blades that are projecting off of his forearm there. Not Wolverine style blades, which would be more useful. These ones, it's basically if you like, I don't know, if you taped 3 meter sticks to your forearm, like equally spaced, that's pretty much what it would look like. Oh, meter sticks, yardsticks. I'm Canadian, sorry. Um, yeah, but with the hair, it's. I tried to make it like a perm looking kind of thing. I have difficulty drawing those, I gotta say. Maybe it's because I'm bald. I don't know. But yeah, just trying to figure out the physics of those things is tough. So you'll see. This is actually where I started deciding to make it more swooshy. It's more dynamic that way anyway, and dynamic is the name of the game. If it's dynamic, it's right. Oh yeah, I was getting into my tight penciling here. I honestly don't usually pencil this tight. Oh, and I think if you look, although my hand's a little bit obscuring it, but you can see the spawn lip in there. Anybody who read 90s comics, 90s Image comics, will recognize the spawn lip on Popo, the bottom right there. Right, but I guess it's more of a Marv lip, really. I think I'm pretty sure that's where Todd stole it from. But it made more sense on Marv because he was more of an awkward, or not awkward, abstract. That's the word, better word. Um, Design. You know, the whole look was a bit more abstract. Look at me trying to feather that hair. It's like Dragon Ball Z if you permed it. And the random assortment of crap on his belt. What are those two can-looking things there? I don't know. Probably keeps protein shakes in there. He looks like he needs it. And trying to draw all the abdominal muscles. Well, no, not the abdominal muscles. Trying to make up abdominal muscles. Making up abdominal muscles is fun. Not allowed to have white space. Certainly not on a torso. You better fill that shit up. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to swear. Good to know. I'm tight penciling one of these. Like where they're all this small. And I'm trying to navigate around a camera. Um, like the camera's like right beside my head when I'm drawing this thing. So, which is the reason why I don't have the whole page. You can probably hear all these chair creakings, can't you? Sorry about that. The reason I can't show back off the camera enough so you could see the whole page is because if I did that, I'd have enough room to get my head in there. And when I'm drawing, I'm like got my nose right up on the board there, and that would be a little difficult to actually, oh, there's those blades. I like this pose. This pose turned out okay. I don't usually do this pose. It hasn't been very long that I've allowed myself to draw in this 90s style. and it's so much fun. But the downside is that I don't have a whole lot of practice in it. So all these poses I'm kind of doing for the first time. I think that one looks all right, though. It's a good hero pose. Really showing off that gigantic area that Hawkstab's sporting. Man, drawing boot detail. That must be dedicated. Oh yeah, and then I think we spawned some finished pencils in the lower on the third panel there. Those weren't there before, were they? No, I don't think so. So that's one of the places where I thought I was filming, and turned out I wasn't. So that was, you know, that panel and the one below it are done now. In case you're wondering, you didn't need to see those, right? We got the big hero shot of Hawkstab and Extremus, and now we're getting back to the group. All the other guys are kind of extraneous anyway. There's a decent name for a villain, Extraneous. And we get Hard's giant shoulder pads. I think I'll be doing away with those at some point, just because something I didn't realize. I mean, giant shoulder pads on a huge dude are a trope, but the thing is, if I put giant shoulder pads on him, you don't see the shoulders, which are kind of a thing. Like I feel like if I've got a giant dude in there, you want to see his giant shoulders. Think about how many folds I'm missing out on. And they're metal too, I think. Wait, are they? Maybe they're not. I don't remember. Maybe I designed them to be metal. It's been so long since I've seen them. Take off your shoulder pads. Oh, and get a bicep vein in there. Hard is the only guy who has bicep veins even when he's not flexing. It'll be fun when I get to page, what is it, 18, 19? When we get into battle mode. And all of a sudden, everyone's going to get juiced up like Bane in Batman or Robin, where all the veins stand out on him. Look massively dehydrated. It'll be very impressive. We gotta be getting to the end of this thing, right? Am I getting some inks going yet? Not yet. Okay. Gotta make up some leg muscles here. Don't mind me. I guess we gotta still sketch in the other guys too. That's a decent picture of Hard, though. He's reasonably detailed. Shockblock's another one whose look is probably going to change eventually. Those the rabbit ears were a fun idea, but just drawing them every time, I hate them. they look, I mean, they look stupid. They looked stupid originally in the Image comics too, but like I can't, these guys are supposed to be badass. That's the whole point of them. This is badass comics. Maybe that's my imprint. And I got this guy running around with bunny ears and like a 1982 Kamiko handheld console or something. Kamiko? Is that I don't know if that's a thing. Doesn't matter. And now we're penciling in Popo, who gets his own shadows, apart from everybody else. Everybody else, I'll try to make them somewhat consistent. Popo is always in shadows. Popo is the loner Punisher kind of character, with the giant gun with a blade on it. Because obviously, if you have a giant gun, that thing might run out of ammo, right? How much ammo can you store in that thing? It probably gets rid of a lot really quickly. Did I bother penciling in Fireburn? Oh, here we go. Ah, look at me. You know what? He's fun to draw, but I mean, I can't stand writing the guy. It's the only problem. Maybe that's not the best. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I need to reconsider whether or not Fireburn needs to be on the team. But he doesn't get a lot of screen time, I feel like. Still, I like all the drawing all these flying Superman poses. And I think we're about done with the penciling. No backgrounds. Yep, yeah, we're done with penciling. I'll figure out something resembling backgrounds later. You don't plan backgrounds unless it's part of the action. And this is the bit where I forget that you can't see the entire page. So I'm just going to... I'm probably doing something down there. Probably comic related. Yeah, there we go. I feel like maybe I could have cut this bit out. Maybe not. I mean, maybe you want to see the whole thing, right? You're not going to, because I forgot to film some of it. But there is a lot. I mean, this is actually about 5 hours of footage, I think, and that's with leaving some of it out. Had to make sure on that one. Yeah. Um, so yeah, I didn't pencil any lettering in or kind of fake it out or anything. Ah, we are going to start with the inking now. Nice. I'm going to try, at least for this issue, to uh, print something up and paste them on. We'll see how that looks. I think there'll be a lot of just kind of figuring stuff out for the first, I don't know, couple of issues. I mean, on this schedule, the first couple of issues is probably going to take me like a year or so. Look at that jaw. You know he's the leader with that jaw. Yeah, that's some wimpy inking on those Coke cans he's carrying. I think I go back in and fix that later. Oh, you can see the shadow on my head though. See, I'm trying. I'm just like, oh, just let me get my head in there. And the big shiny thing on Hawkstab's chest, I have no idea what that is. It's a design element to break up his costume. That's about it. And we got his seatbelt sash. That's what it is. His utility sash. And we get to draw on all the textures on that torso. Come on, get to it. Ah, it's too much fun. Oh yeah, I got to go over the lines. It's too much fun drawing Hawkstab. You really got to like milk the drawing time on him. I gotta say, I like the sped up thing just because it makes me look like I really know what I'm doing. This looks so deliberate. And as is tradition with Image, oh hey, look, even Hawkstab got a bicep vein. Good for you, Hawkstab. You hit the gym. Yeah, that looks intense. What was I saying before? I was saying something, but it doesn't matter now. Yeah, here we go with the torso textures. Oh right, the I was gonna say something about the we're gonna cross hatch the shit out of this. You gotta get some black in there because black looks awesome on in full ink. But yeah, just throw on those lines. White space is the enemy. Fill it up. Yes, those are some. Those are probably some sort of muscle groups. I mean, I've got like 12 abdominal muscles in there just on that one side. I'm sure I hit a couple of real ones. And we got to do the Stephen Platt, yeah, um, thing where, yeah, it's like backlit, backlit lats. And we had to throw some Liefeld pouches on there, but honestly, I don't have much fun drawing them, so they're not super detailed. I don't have anywhere near as much fun drawing pockets as Liefeld does. You gotta give the man credit. He knows what he loves. That's a man who loves him some pockets. Yeah, so just draw an outline and throw a couple of texture lines on there. That's good enough. Oh, this was the bit where I forgot for a minute and started to give Hawkstab a package. But no, superheroes in the 90s, they don't get genitalia. What you get is a gigantic area. It's like someone shoved a shovel down the front of your pants. I believe I stole that metaphor. And then just all the lines pointing in to show off your lack of genitalia. And I kind of messed it up actually, because that should have been a downward. Oh, you'll see when I ink the top one. I'll get back to that. In the meantime, I gotta make up some tendons. More hatching, so much hatching. No, but like I said, when I get to the action sequence, that'll be interesting because like I think if you throw on hatching, that tends to kind of slow down the reader's eye, but you want them to kind of be moving quickly. So you should probably just like go for more of a manga thing where you're just quick slashes with a brush. Oh, got my French curve out. There's the Hawkstab blades, the arm blades. Yes, very impressive. Very nice. And do we jump now? We jump. And now I get to work on Extremus. And yeah, I'm getting a bit more comfortable drawing this character, but it's still a little bit of trepidation every time I have to start on a picture of her. Just, I don't know. Drawing women isn't as easy as drawing men in these because women have to look somewhat attractive. I mean, unless the point is to not make them look attractive. In these kind of comics, whereas dudes like you can make like yeah, I don't know that Hawkstab is a particularly good looking dude in that picture next to her there. Like look at his torso. He's all misshapen and stuff. You just throw lumps on him, and dudes still look all right. Whereas with women, you get 37 lines, and don't you waste any more than that, and you're making her look too old, and you better put them all in exactly the right place. And of course, she's good. She's running around in a bathing suit because that's what you do when you're a female character in one of these comics. That was another design thing where I was like, am I really going to do that? But I can't put a woman character in one of these books, and then you know put her in body armor. I think Liefeld tried doing that with Vogue and didn't like that character completely. Everybody lost interest in her after that. Yeah, here's me attempting hair again. Although, I mean, the Max Remus hair is kind of fun because it's just this big mass on top of her. At the very least, you never mistake her silhouette. Where's the giant dome head? Ah, okay, now I'm situated. I understand the landscape. Oh yeah, that's a little cape thing. Yeah. I think I forget to draw those in like half the panels going forward. And that's my half-assed attempt at backgrounds. We got shrubs, clouds, yes. Create some depth, very good. And I'm doing something wrong with the erasing, because half the time when I erase my stuff, I end up smudging like half the drawing. Yeah, that's a good shot. Good hero shot. Or perhaps an ad for, Caribbean cruise. They look like they're ready for a vacation. Good chin on her. Well done. Oh yeah, we gotta white out some of the lines. Pen gets away from me from time to time. All right, I'm done talking about this panel, man. Finish up. Holy God. This is the thing with image style comics. There are just never enough lines. There we go. All right, well done. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna try and ink a tiny face. Well, not quite tiny. It's not tiny enough that I can get away with no detail. So I almost think that's worse. There's those bunny ears. I should probably be making those about 5 times as large if I really want to go for the parody. This is after the Extreme Studios character. I think it's Dane. Is it Dane? No, that's the Wetworks guy. I don't remember his name. That might have been a chap Yape creation, and he had giant antennae, which didn't look good in 1995, and doesn't look a whole lot better now. I got to say. Yeah, but this is the fun stuff. Just draw a bunch of lumps. These horribly misshapen guys. They look like they're in so much pain. This is my kayfabed hand. Almost looks like a real hand. I think if I'd really wanted to, do that properly, I probably would have turned the page. But no, I didn't do that. So you get probably a hand instead of a proper hand. Yeah, there's my giant handheld device. That's okay. That's the last time I have to draw that. Ooh. I don't think I can keep my head out of the way the whole time. So yeah, every once in a while I'm just going to headbutt the camera. That's okay. I'm working with a new camera setup. I'm going to try and find a way that isn't quite as obtrusive and intrusive. One of those truces. Yeah, this is the first one of these, so I don't even have a whole lot to talk about other than, you know, I guess I could talk about the book a little bit. Could I? I suppose I could. So this is not, yeah, this hasn't been, obviously this is page 17. I was going to say, this hasn't been put up for any kind of publication yet. The final, the issue should be around 24 pages, if I did it correctly, plus a cover. Haven't figured out a cover yet, but I'm sure something will come to me. No, but I'm saving the cover for last for several reasons. One, so that I don't know, it feels like a good idea in terms of knowing exactly what happened in the issue versus kind of guessing. Although I suppose that is kind of a feature of those things, right? Is cover that doesn't quite reflect what happens in the issue. But we want to try and get to we're striving for realism in this comic. Another thing, it kind of gives me something to, like a carrot, to keep just finish the issue. You finish the issue, you can draw the cover. That'll be fun. It'd probably be wouldn't be a bad idea to finish it first for marketing kind of purposes, but I don't know. I'm a little wary of trying to do anything before, I don't know, I have the issue done, I think. I feel like I was segueing into something before I started talking about the cover, but that's not happening now. Oh, yes, we got our Jim Lee foresty backgrounds. I gotta say, I hate drawing backgrounds. Never enjoyed it. So I pulled out some old Jim Lee X-Men comics and said, Jim, how can I draw backgrounds without throwing a whole lot of effort into it? And he said, well, Mitch, let me show you this. And he pointed me towards X-Men, Uncanny X-Men number 274, where Rogue and Magneto and Kazar are in the Savage Land. And that's a bit of an approximation of the backgrounds in that particular sequence. They're not exactly in depth, which I appreciate. Like, not exactly in depth is exactly what I'm going for. Now we get Hard here being thoughtful, as he often does. He's a very philosophical character. I feel like he actually got the most thought put into his costume. Like Hawkstab is, you'd think, because his looks more ornate, but it really was just throwing stuff on and until and like trying to get that right balance. But no, because Hard, he gets the image shoulder pads. He also has this. Well, I mean, you see that little square on his head, and when he's looking at you forward, I shouldn't have done this now. I should have done this earlier. Anyway, that little square on his head makes it look like because he's got like a cowl thing from his brows that describes the outline of his cheekbones. And so then he's got the square on his head, and once it's colored, it'll kind of look like an H. And then you can also see the straps across him. That's also a bit of an H. Yes, he's very clever, and maybe a little too subtle, but maybe not. And draw some tree trunk legs, and hatch the shit out of those things. Just waste all that ink. Well, not waste. That's what you use the ink for. And yeah, draw those little underwear shinies. I was like the reverse Colossus underwear, where Colossus doesn't actually have the metal shinies on his underwear; he's everywhere around his underwear. Mm-mm. Hard has to have metal underwear. It's to keep him in check. Who knows what kind of havoc he would wreak without it? And here we get to Popo. I love that name. It's so silly. And Popo is the darkest character, so naturally I'm just gonna get in there with the brush and go to town. I actually kind of like this method. This was the first time I really did this, where I just get in there and start throwing blacks on him. And just start working around those. And I think it worked out all right, particularly for him because he's, mostly in shadow a lot of the time. Also makes him very quick to ink. That's why I love you, Popo. Yeah, and trying to really get across the tightness of that jacket. I feel like that's an important element. But yes, Popo wears the standard 90s standard issue leather jacket that swooshes in the wind like a cape. But not an actual cape. Because these are realistic superheroes. They wouldn't actually wear a cape. I think if the Incredibles taught us anything, it's superheroes with capes is a bad idea. So what do? You stick them in a leather jacket, or like Fireburn, you give him a 3-foot long ponytail. And it kind of approximates the movement that a cape would. Ah, look at all that shadow. That's what I'm talking about. I swear, one of these days I'm just going to make them all bald. So I don't have to draw that goddamn hair anymore. Nope, more folds. Get some folds, get some shadow. Nice. That's all right. It kind of looks like he dislocated his shoulder a little bit, but that's all right. Because it looks kind of dope anyway. Yep. More black. Nice. All right, there we go. Actually got most of the inking. Oh, up till now. This is I guess we're getting near the end of the drawing part. So I'll get the inks done on Hawkstab here, and then I will forget to turn the camera back on at the right, or just not. No, you know what happened? I actually turned it on, thought it was recording for the whole thing, and either accidentally turned it off or something in my computer screwed up. So I got like 20 minutes and missed the last 40. That arm looks a little skimpy there. Yeah, you better fill that thing in. Yeah, no templates. Not for this. Unnecessary. I'll use them for the blades. But it's just too much work otherwise. No. We're not doing that. Get all those tendons. Get all those pouches or something. Oh, there it is. I'm coloring. You barely see me coloring in the Coke cans on the seatbelt sash there. Yeah. I'm probably going to have to come up with multiple versions of those shadows. Right now, it's kind of the same one every time, where it's that big swoop across and then you shade underneath. You probably need to come up with variations on that. Possibly also the ab shadows. Although I do love the ab shadows, they look great. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The flex and rest your torso on your legs, on your hips. Yep, more veins. Very good. Yeah, you'll see a lot of that particular fist. I mean, one of the big things with being a proper 90s-esque image artist is finding shortcuts and just repeating those constantly. And that's what we're doing with those fists. Get my Jim Lee leg muscles in there. Yeah. This is what I was talking about with the shiny on his groinal region. See, because if you do a downward, like a curve that goes towards the down. That was English, sure. Then that at least gives it some kind of impression that there's something that could potentially like push forward. You do it the curve pointed up. It's like his groin is concave, which is a little funny. It's on its own. Oh, now we're getting the full shot of those arm blades. They're glorious. Look at those things. And in case you're wondering, no, they do not retract. So he gets to do everything with those. Doesn't that look like fun? And shabam! Full lengths. We're done here. Now, I felt like I was going a bit too slow, so I kind of gave myself a boost there. Got the nitrous going. Just all in one go. Faster than you can see. Pretty sure I pulled my MCL. I may have torn my hammy or hyperextended something. Like my groin. I probably hyperextended my groin. That happens all the time with me. Yeah, so no, this was part of the bit that got left out, of course. But, oh, and this is in real time now. Hello. So, yeah, that's page 16 done. I started on page 17. So, yes, once again, for reiteration, hard, Extremus, Hawkstab, Popo, shock block, Firebird. And this is their crazy ship thing, which is fun. That was on the previous page. Do I have that page around here? I thought I did before. No, there it is. I got it. Yeah, so that's that thing. Cool, right? You should have seen this thing in pencils. It made absolutely no sense. I had an idea of the cockpit thing here, and then just, a mass. There would be a mass of some kind attached to it. And so just draw a tube on there, another tube. Just kind of these ovally masses, tube. This looks good. Fin, and a couple of afterburners. Doesn't look like anything that could exist in three-dimensional space. So what do? You black half of it out. Perfect. Looks great. So yes, very much looking forward to getting this thing into print. I mean, eventually. First, I think I'm going to try and make it an online thing. Because, I mean, you got it, right? I don't have money to put together a print run just yet. But hopefully eventually. Yeah, so that's that one done. I will finish up page 17, and I'm going to try and get one of these out. Well, I mean, I'll try to get one out as often as I finish up a page. So I guess we'll see just how quick I am on that. I think it's about a page a week, maybe a little bit less. Depends on how much fun the page is to draw, to be honest. So, thank you for stopping by. I guess you can do the following me on Twitter thing. There, that'll work, because I'll notify you about when. I mean, if you got your YouTube notifications on, then you'll probably know when these drop. But maybe you don't do that. Maybe you're a little weird like that. And so I'll put up a notification on YouTube. I'm at, what is it now? Team Blood Force. I believe that's it. Could be. Or if you want to email me stuff, I'm at lthawkstab@gmail.com. Because I tried for Blood Force at Gmail. That wasn't happening. I wasn't too surprised about that. What did surprise me was that Hawkstab was taken. I had to settle on LT Hawkstab instead of Hawkstab. So, which makes me wonder what is wrong with you people. Why would Hawkstab ever be taken? Nobody should have ever put those two words together before. I should be the first one. But no. LT Hawkstab it is. Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing else. So, yeah, thanks for watching. And see you in probably less than a week.